Hi guys, I'm back with day 14 and I'm a little bit on a high because the last 2 days I wasn't here and I kept thinking about being in front of the camera and just giving you this next message, and I maybe overdid it in my head, but I'm really excited to do it. And the best part is that I get to demonstrate it. I'm going to teach you a concept called shelving. See, sometimes we get overwhelmed with a thought or a feeling, and therefore it's really hard to focus on other stuff or to deal with it properly, right? You know what I'm talking about? Like before the interview, before the test, before the big school project, before the big work project. We've all had it at some point in our life, right? That feeling of all we wanted to do is actually succeed, but we were so busy worrying about the fear, feeling the fear, worrying about it, that we just couldn't even put our best foot forward. Today I want to teach you how that ends, how we can just end that today, how that doesn't have to ever happen again. See, we're going to use a real life fear of mine. I fear that, well, a thought, really, an intrusive thought is that I should have finished this 30-day challenge. I should have managed to make it finish by January 1st. And this way I can start something special for you all on January 1st. And that thought has been making me feel really, really bad about myself. Granted, thank God it only started today, but it's been making me feel really bad about myself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down first the thought. The thought is finishing the course, the 30-day, challenge by 2022. All right, so I wrote it down, and yeah, I had to cross it out. I wrote it down, and now I'm gonna, first of all, recognize how it came out a little bit, which feels good because like I made real space for it. It's a real thing. So I'm just explaining to you what I'm modeling. You want to write down the intrusive thought, the intrusive feeling. That's what you're writing down. So for me, it was thinking that I should have finished the 30-day challenge by January 1st so I can start something new. Now that I wrote it down, I want to like look at it. Is it here for my own good? Is it a good thing, a bad thing? Even though good and bad are subjective, but it's actually a great thing. This is part of me that wants to make sure that I'm extra motivated, and I'm helping other people stay extra motivated, and it wants to make sure to give other people the opportunity to have a January 1st that's a real great self-connecting, self-loving January 1st. Starting your brand new year on the right foot. That's beautiful. I don't want to get rid of that. I want to direct that. I want to direct it in the direction I want. Because that beautiful thought I'm feeling is one that can drive me to create something really beautiful for the people, for you. For the people who want this to be a different first than any ever before. The people like me who, last year I had this decision. I made this decision that this year I would not go to parties. I would find myself with a close friend on a beach. And crazily enough, it's happening. Just by mistake. But I realized that, oh my God, not everyone had the ability, not everyone made this decision last year, not because just they weren't in the same place as me. But many people want to have that experience of having a different kind of January 1st. One that actually promotes the growth that you want from the coming year. And I want to make that possible for everyone. I don't know how or what yet, but I know I want that. I know what, I don't know how yet. So, now that I wrote down my fear, or my intrusive thought, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shelf it. I'm going to put this in the closet. Now this part I'm not going to actually show you, but I'm going to tell you. And when I put it in the closet, I'm going to say like this. First of all, thank you. You made me aware of this beautiful part inside of me that wants to just give and give and give and help and help and help. And I love that side, and I do not want to stifle it at all. So thank you for doing this. I get it. At the same time, I want you to know that in order for me to actually do something beautiful and give something beautiful, I actually need the space. This is a little overwhelming, this thought of you could have finished by January 1st and instead you'll finish by the 5th. It's an overwhelming thought, and it doesn't allow me to actually do what you want me to do. It doesn't allow me to think in a creative way for January 1st, for my friends out there, what I can do. It actually stifles me. So I'm going to put you in the closet for right now until a little later on in the week, at which point I want to readdress you and see if I manage to come up with something else that I can give, or if we need to redefine this or figure out something else. I want to put you in the closet until then so I can start to think creatively and see. So until like Thursday, I would say Thursday would be a great time to readdress this and re-see if there's anything that I'm missing, any other thoughts. And hopefully I'll be able to come back and show you an idea that I have of how I'm going to make January 1st the best January 1st for all my friends out there. All my friends that want a different life. So thank you for being here. And by shelving you, that means that I get some space now, because I don't want to be overwhelmed. Because when I'm overwhelmed, I cannot think properly. So whenever I do notice you in my head, I'm going to imagine the moment that I put you in my closet, and I'm just going to send them back to you until we're ready to deal with it. That's that. That's how you shelf. And the coolest thing happens when you shelf. When you shelf, it actually leaves your body. It takes up space in the closet, and it leaves your body. Which is why I'm getting really tired right now, because I actually feel it leaving. And what I want to tell you, the most important part of this is, well, there's a few parts. First, we want to recognize how it's our friend. We cannot direct it if we turned it into our enemy. And it will fight back if you turn it into your enemy. However, if it's your friend, if you can recognize how it's actually there to help you, it always is, then you can direct it. Then you can find the way for it to calm down a bit and not overwhelm you, and actually shelf it. Like, for example, if there's something you want to shelf till after the holidays, that's a good start. What is very important is to remember to turn it into your friend, and then B, remember to actually give a time frame and be realistic with it. Make sure it's a time frame that makes sense and that you will actually come back to it. You must come back to it, which I will tell you in another session how we deal with it. But we must come back to it. There's no such thing as just pushing it off forever. How many of you as kids were pushed off forever? How much did you like it? Were you pushed off as a kid many times? Did you like it? So let's not do it to our parts. However, if you are really smart with it and you do shelf it for just short periods of time, you will become really great at compartmentalizing, at putting aside what you cannot deal with right now, but coming back and dealing with it. And when you put it aside, if you put it aside with full knowledge of what it is, recognition, compassion, and love, when you come back to it, it won't overwhelm. And you'll be ready to deal with it. And you can prepare while it's in the closet, you can prepare for it. So, to recap, we're going to find one thing right now that's intrusive. Write it down. Go to the closet. Do what I just did. Talk to it. Be kind to it. Put it down. And see for yourself how calming that feels. All right. I'll see you soon.